how you not gonna hurt me. Keep breaking my heart and stepping on it and shit. What is all of that, Jody? Huh?
I'm writing on the money.
Give me my change.
You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get this money for the rent.
Oh, Lord, you came back. Let me look at you.
Who's that, Mama?
Child, it's your brother, Benjamin.
What do you want me to do? We've been here less than a week and I feel
like it's a year. I hate it here.
There are no colored bathrooms in this building or any building outside the West Campus, which is half a mile away. Did you know that?
You don't need to drop him because of the shooting. Drop him because his music sucks.
How is this stupid, bitch?
Someone who would have never gave birth to your ugly.
It was started with the bruises and, you know, grabbing and things like that. And then once the fist came, I'm just missing a piece of my lip to this day.
Oh my gosh.
She is the woman who's always got the world talking. Whether it's her jaw-dropping roles, her hustle, or the scandals that kept us all glued to our screens.
The reason we all root for Taraji, she's thoughtful and smart and funny and so gifted. She's one of the deepest souls you'll ever meet and one of the most formidable and strongest women I've ever known.
From the streets of D.C. to becoming Hollywood royalty, Taraji P. Henson is the ultimate powerhouse, proving that a single mother can do it all, and then some.
I keep looking at that star going, is this real? You know, I've imagined it, and here it is. And if any babies are out there, I just want you to know that everything I do, I think about you. I'm a mom, I have a son. When I set out on this journey, I said I'll never give up, because if I give up, what am I teaching my son? If I give up, what am I teaching those who look up to me? So everything I do is for a generation coming behind me, because if it were not for the generation before me, I wouldn't be standing before you.
From captivating audiences with her unforgettable performances to running her own business empire, penning best-selling books, and fiercely championing mental health awareness, Taraji isn't just breaking the mold, she's smashing it to pieces.
Forever. I want to break through glass ceilings when they tell women over 40 that, you're done. We're sending you out to pasture. We're going to hire something young and sexy. But then when I look up and I see these men still performing and doing these roles at 60, I'm like, wait a minute, I still look good.
Her journey is filled with grit, glamour, and a touch of drama that'll have you rooting for her every step of the way. Taraji isn't just an actress. She's a force of nature, redefining what it means to truly have it all.
Hollywood, you know, that long walk to fame, it's not easy all the time. You have to have a bigger picture. And I knew that when things didn't pop off right away, everybody said after Baby Boy, I was gonna be a star. You know what John Singleton does for careers? And for some reason, God gave me an insight. And I knew it wouldn't be that easy. And so I was like, and when it didn't pop off like that for me, I was like, well, then I have another story to tell. Because if it's so easy, how will I transform people? And how will I be transformed?
Taraji Penda Henson was born on September 11, 1970, in Washington, D.C. Now, before we even get into her Hollywood domination, let's just say Taraji wasn't born with a silver spoon in her mouth. Oh no, she had to hustle for everything, and I mean everything. Her parents, Boris and Bernice Henson, were hardworking, but split up when she was young.
Tell me about your parents. Tell me about growing up in D.C. It was not easy.
No, it wasn't easy, but they made it seem easy. My mom had a way, once we crossed the threshold of our little tiny apartment, I felt like a princess. My room was beautiful, immaculate. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. She loved me. Boy, did she love me so good. She loved me so much. I would go to her and be like, Mom, I have a lot of hair under this wig. You would never know because it's cornrow really teeny tiny, but I have a lot of hair. So my mom would sit for hours and I would come up with these. She knew her daughter was special. She just had to go with it. And I was like, Mom, I want this side to go this way, and I want the back to come up, and I want this side to go around like this. And she would, that's love. This woman worked tireless hours to keep a roof over our head, and yet she still had the time to try to do these crazy hairstyles. My dad, he was a fighter. He had a lot to fight about. You know, went to the war, came back. America wasn't really nice to him.
Like a lot of Vietnam vets, very troubled when he came back.
It breaks your heart. just remember his epiphany where he was like, I'm not gonna let this get the best of me. You know, I'm gonna turn my life around and I can become a better person. And he did. He stopped drinking. He married my stepmother, got everything on his checklist.
And then there's this little nugget. Taraji says her name means hope in Swahili. But let me tell you, her life didn't feel too hopeful in the early days. She worked multiple jobs while studying acting at Howard University. She was a secretary at the Pentagon by day and a singing, dancing waitress on a cruise ship by night.
Well, you know, coming from the Washington, D.C. area, most of my family works for the government.
Okay.
So that's how I got my job.
Oh, so you
in
actually
college.
grew up there, didn't just, okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Washington, D.C. So that's how my stepmom got me the job in the Pentagon.
But here's where the drama starts. At just 24, Taraji became a single mother. Her son Marcel was born during her college years. The baby's father,
when she was 23, in college, pregnant, and the father of her baby punched her in the face. Knowing that if he abused her once, he'd do it again, Taraji got out.
You can find yourself in any bad situation in life. Guess who it is up to get out of it? You.
Yeah, that's it.
If you're not chained to a wall and no one has a gun to your head saying, if you walk out the door, I'm going to shoot you, where's the power? You have the power.
Tragically, he was murdered in 1997, leaving Taraji to navigate life as a single mom. And let me tell you, she didn't just survive, she thrived.
I saw having a baby in college as, you know what? I got a mouth to feed now. I got to make my dreams come true right now.
Taraji hit Hollywood in the 90s with just $700 in a dream.
So I moved to California with $700 in my pocket and my toddler. I have to fight the good fight because people are telling me I can't. You can't do this. You can't. Are you crazy? You're moving to California with your son. You'll never make it. I was 26 when I decided to come here. There's the age thing. Oh, you're too old. If you listen to people, and if you allow people to project their fears onto you, you won't live.
But let's keep it real. It wasn't all red carpets and glam right away. She took on small roles in shows like Smart Guy.
Team member Monique? Yes. It says here on the wardrobe list that we're supposed to wear leather hats.
And Sister.
Tamara, you know how Jordan freaks when you miss a deadline.
I think he's so cute when he freaks.
You know, the ones where you blink and she's gone. But Taraji's big break came in 2001 with Baby Boy. Her role as Yvette, opposite Tyrese Gibson, had people talking. That chemistry. Woo! People thought they were a real couple.
Open this door, girl. See, that's what I'm talking about. Why you gotta steal my car?
Your car?
Yeah, it's my car.
Spoiler alert, they weren't. But let's not act like the rumors didn't add to the buzz. And then came Hustle and Flow in 2005. If you haven't heard Taraji sing It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp, you're missing out. She even got an Oscar nomination for the role. But don't get it twisted. Hollywood still wasn't rolling out the red carpet. Taraji had to fight for her roles, and she wasn't afraid to call out the industry for its lack of opportunities for Black women.
Sometimes in this industry, diva, difficult, catty. When all we're doing is, in those moments when you call us being difficult, is we're fighting for what we deserve. If I do a job just as well as a man, people tune in every week, they see me, they root for me just like they root for him, why should my pay be less than his?
2015, and Taraji landed the role of a lifetime, Cookie Lyon on Empire.
And me, my artist, or my family again, you won't even hear them knock at the door.
This role didn't just put her back in the spotlight, it was the spotlight.
Your application for an IPO would be effectively denied.
Cookie was fierce,
You never get up off the floor.
fabulous, and full of sass.
No more rude than that anger woman haircut you slap on your head.
Just like Taraji herself. And let's not forget those over-the-top outfits. Taraji even joked that she had to fight for Cookie's leopard print looks because some people thought it was too much. Too much? Let me tell you, Cookie was everything.
Ain't made for everybody. That's why they made sidewalks.
Don't forget to thank me, baby.
Did you know that Cookie Lyon herself wasn't exactly living the high life on the set of Empire? Yep, Taraji P. Henson publicly called out the producers for what she described as unfair.
getting paid a fraction of the cost.
Word on the street was that despite being the breakout star and carrying the show with her larger-than-life performance, her paycheck didn't quite reflect her star power. Taraji, never one to mince words, made it crystal clear that she wasn't about to stay silent when it came to being undervalued.
I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, have to. The math ain't mathin'. And when you start working a lot, you know, you have a team. Big bills come with what we do. We don't do this alone. The fact that we're up, there's a whole entire team behind us. Right. They have to get paid. So when you hear someone saying, oh, such and such made $10 million, no, that's not, that didn't make it to their account. Know that off the top, Uncle Sam is getting 50%. That's right. Okay? So do the math. Now we have $5 million. Your team is getting 30% or whatever your team is off of what you grossed, sometimes not more. After what Uncle Sam took. Now do the math. So I'm only human, and it seems every time I do something and I break another glass ceiling, when it's time to renegotiate, I'm at the bottom again, like I never did what I just did, and I'm just tired.
She even hinted that her male counterparts were being paid significantly more, sparking a conversation about pay equity in Hollywood that fans and critics couldn't ignore. But with the success of Empire came some juicy drama. Rumors swirled about on-set feuds, especially with co-star Terrence Howard.
Crazy rumor going around that you guys don't get along, but you guys are working together all the time and you look like best friends. What is that about?
He pays me very well to say nice things about him.
Sure, they denied it, but fans couldn't help but notice the tension in interviews. And then there was the Jussie Smollett scandal. You know, the whole staged attack situation that rocked the show.
Smollett paid $3,500 to stage this attack and drag Chicago's reputation.
Taraji stayed loyal to Jussie, but let's be real, it was messy, and the show suffered because of it. Let's pause for a moment and talk about one of Hollywood's biggest crimes, Taraji not getting an Oscar for Hidden Figures. She played Katherine Johnson, the real-life NASA mathematician who helped send John Glenn to space.
It could be old math, something that looks at the problem numerically and not theoretically. Math is always dependable.
The film was a box office smash, and Taraji delivered a performance for the ages.
I will have you know, I was the first Negro female student at West Virginia University Graduate School.
But when the Oscar nominations dropped, crickets. Taraji was snubbed, and fans were furious. And let's not forget how Hollywood loves to overlook Black women, even when they're carrying entire movies on their back. Taraji didn't say much publicly, but you know she felt the shade. Now, let's get into Taraji's love life, because it's just as dramatic as her movies. For years, she kept her relationships low-key, but in 2015, she spilled some tea. She revealed she had dated Lamar Odom before Khloe Kardashian. Yep, Taraji was ahead of the curve, but she said Lamar wasn't ready for a woman like her.
It was started with the bruises and, grabbing and things like that. And then once the fist came, I'm just missing a piece of my lip to this day.
Oh my God.
Then there was her whirlwind romance with NFL player Kelvin Hayden. They got engaged in 2018. And for a hot minute, it looked like Taraji was finally getting her fairy tale ending. But in 2020, she announced the engagement was off. The reason? She hinted at issues with mental health and emotional support. It didn't work out, she said.
To make each other happy. And so when one person is taking on the weight of the entire relationship, it's never going to work.
Girl, we've all been there. And did you hear about those whispers that she was dating a younger mystery man right after the breakup? Taraji's been tight-lipped about it, but that hasn't stopped fans from digging into her Instagram comments for clues. In 2015, Taraji made headlines when she accused the Glendale Police Department of racially profiling her son. She claimed Marcel was pulled over for no reason, and here's the twist. Police footage later showed Marcel had actually run a red light. Taraji issued an apology, but whew, that drama was real. And then there's her boldness on social media. Taraji has never been afraid to speak her mind, whether it's about Hollywood inequality or social justice issues. But her posts have sometimes sparked backlash, like when she compared R. Kelly's situation to Harvey Weinstein's. Fans were quick to call her out, and Taraji had to clarify her intentions. Lesson learned: the internet never forgets. Now, you can't be a queen without a few frenemies, right? Taraji has always been close with celebrities like Mary J. Blige and Gabrielle Union, but there's been gossip about her falling out with some folks in the industry. For example, rumors swirl that she and Nia Long didn't get along on the set of Empire.
I would tell you to watch your back, but I think you already know what I'm capable of.
Both actresses denied it, but the whispers didn't stop. And let's not forget her hilarious feud with 50 Cent. When Empire was competing with 50 Show Power, he couldn't resist throwing shade. Taraji clapped back in the most cookie lion way possible, shutting him down with humor and class. Hold on, Taraji even had a moment with the queen of media, Oprah Winfrey, over, you guessed it, money. In an interview that had everyone talking, Taraji spilled the tea on how she confronted Oprah herself about pay disparity. Apparently, during a project where Oprah was both producing and acting, Taraji felt her paycheck was a little too light for the work she was putting in. She boldly brought it to Oprah's attention, and let's just say the moment was icy enough to make headlines. Fans were shook, but Taraji was unbothered, proving once again that she's not afraid to speak her truth, no matter who's in the room.
I'm tired of hearing that my entire career, 20 plus years in the game, and I hear the same thing, and I see what you do for another production, and when it's time for us to go to bed, you don't have any money. They play in your face. And I'm just supposed to smile and grin and bear it and just keep, like, enough is enough. This industry, if you let it, it'll steal your soul. But I refuse to let that happen.
If there's one thing everyone agrees on, it's that Taraji is unapologetically herself. She's loud, she's funny, and she doesn't hold back. Remember her Golden Globe speech when she won Best Actress for Empire? She handed out cookies to the audience.
Golden Globe goes to Taraji P. Henson.
And told the producers to stop rushing her speech.
Please rap. Wait a minute. I waited 20 years for this. You gonna wait? Yeah, you gonna give me a little more time.
Iconic. And let's not forget her infamous interviews. Taraji doesn't just answer questions, she performs. Whether she's impersonating Cookie or cracking jokes about her dating life.
And for those who think that, oh, he's not gonna win, think again.
She always leaves fans wanting more. Despite all the ups and downs, Taraji has cemented her place as one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. She's broken barriers, called out injustice, and brought unforgettable characters to life. But most importantly, she's shown the world that you can rise above any challenge. From single mom to Emmy-winning actress, Taraji's story is one of resilience, grit, and pure star power. Taraji's net worth is sitting at a cool $25 million, but let's be real, she deserves more. Between her iconic roles and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button,
No things you don't know, child. Get on out there and finish sweeping. Come here, wash your hands, help me with the table. Go on now.
Hidden Figures, and
I have to walk to Timbuktu just to relieve myself.
of course, Empire.
Get off of me, Bernie! Get off of me!
She's been stacking her coins for years. And don't forget her entrepreneurial ventures, like her hair care line, TPH, by Taraji, which is all about self-care and slaying edges. But fans can't help but wonder, how much more would she be worth if she hadn't had to fight for her fair share in Hollywood all these years? One thing getting bigger. So there you have it, the life of Taraji P. Henson, a queen who turned her struggles into success and her hustle into Hollywood history. Whether she's making us laugh, cry, or gasp, Taraji always keeps us coming back for more. And you know what? We wouldn't do it any other way. What's next for Taraji? Only time will tell, but if her past is it's going to be dramatic, fabulous, and oh so memorable. Stay tuned, because this queen's reign